Okay, so right now I am in the XForce booth. Now XForce is a company that makes performance exhausts in Australia, so they've been doing it for Holdens and Fords down there for a long time, but they're now also selling performance exhaust systems here in the States and for a bunch of different cars that we can get over here too. So right now I'm sitting with Tim McMurray, who works at XForce, and he's from Australia. So I wanted to ask you about this Varex system, so tell me what's going on with that.
The Varex system is it's a valved arrangement where we have a patent on putting a valve inside the muffler, which gives you the opportunity to have more bypass volume, better ways to control the sound. So when it's from open to closed, the closed position, it's much quieter. You can have a bigger difference between open and closed, which is the challenge for many valved arrangements. So we've perfected that design and had a patent on that for over 10 years. And we've got some new designs that we've brought out over the last few years. So yeah, it works quite well for a lot of people, including hot rod and muscle car market, which is what this muffler is designed for here. So it's becoming very popular as it's quite unique. It's something that isn't available in this market, so it's of great interest to a lot of people, we find.
How similar is this system to the system that you would say find on a 6th generation Corvette where it's got that valve that opens and closes?
The main difference would be that, same thing there, the valve is externally to the muffler in the pipe, so it can only stop gas exiting out a pipe or allow it to exit. So it's just reducing the exit volume. There will be a difference in sound, but it won't be as great. You're not able to bring the sound level much lower or much higher. So yeah, the external valve like that you mentioned, it does work, but it's not quite as effective in sound control.
So in your system, the way the bypass valve works, is it bypassing the insulation in the muffler and going straight out when you turn it?
What it's doing is turning it from what you would call in a performance muffler a straight through configuration to closing the valve of the main tube, and it enters a bypass tube, and it will have some bypass tubes inside and an arrangement of chambers. So it's able to go from what you would call a straight through muffler design to what might be called a reverse flow or a tri-flow type arrangement. So that's effective, and it moves the gas around, and it uses that as well as some of the packing to quieten it down. When the muffler's open, the gas can flow through the center, but it's also allowed to flow through the bypass. So what we've found with these mufflers, when you test them on a flow bench, there is no other muffler that flows as well as this when it's in the open position, because it's allowed to go through the chambers as well as through the center tube.
Now with the Bluetooth controller, which is you tout here, I don't just have to have it open and close. I can do whatever I want with it, right?
That's right. You can preset it off throttle position, road speed, RPM, whatever parameters you want. If you find that there's a certain RPM or throttle position that on the freeway, for example, that you don't want to hear the exhaust, you don't want to have drone in the cabin, you want to be able to make phone calls, you want to be able to listen to music, you can preset that to say, I want the valve position to be 10% open when I'm doing this. When I accelerate, I want it to go fully open. You can do those things and preset them in the matrix mode. You can also control the valve manually from your phone. There's also a geofencing mode where you can put in an address, set a radius, and tell it, I want the valve closed when I'm in here, like around your home, for example. When you've got to start the car early in the morning, you don't want your neighbours to be hearing the loud noise, so it knows when you switch the car on that it's inside the geofence, it will be closed. When you leave that area, it will go back to your preset that you've put into it, or to open whatever you choose. So
that's brilliant. That's a really cool idea.
Endless possibilities to set it up exactly how you want to personalize it.
Now I noticed there's these remotes hanging from the muffler too. What do these remotes do?
The remotes are supplied with the muffler or with the catback as the entry-level package, so you can open, close the valve, or you can get 25, 50, 75, or open with the key fob back and forth, a simple press of a button. We also supply a kit that has a rocker switch that you can fit into your dash if that's what you choose, which has been popular in the US market, or upgrade to the smart box and then have all of those features that I just mentioned. So manual control through the phone, preset in the matrix mode off throttle position, road speed, RPM, or the geofencing.
Now I noticed there was another system over there which seemed to be like a dump pipe instead of going through a muffler. So are there multiple configurations you can get this system in?
That's right. Yeah, they're a, what's called a cutout. So it's a basic valve that you can fabricate into any system you like, and have the valve open and close and move the gas from one pipe to the other, like for example through the muffler through a dump pipe straight out to the side of a truck or a hot rod. So those are quite popular in this market, and it just utilises our normal valve and our normal motors, which are proven, and those sell quite well too.
Okay. So which American sold Holdens could I get one of these systems for?
You can get them for the Chevy SS, Chevrolet Camaro. We also do Silverado truck.
Nothing for the GTL then, or the G8?
The G8 and GTO, yes, sorry.
Oh, okay, you do have those as
Yeah,
well.
we have those as well.
I'm glad you said that, because I really want one of these systems, so I'm glad you didn't say
Yes.
no there. Well, that's perfect. Well, Tim, thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure, thank you.
I love this system. You guys should check this out if you're looking for a different exhaust for your own car.